Hi there guys, welcome to KMC Gaming. This is another how-to, and first off, I forgot to do an intro, hence why I've got this face, mine, saying hello. Yeah, how you doing? Today we're going to do a how-to video. Away from the bigger project that we've been doing. If you check out the other how-tos, they're going to come up right now. Check that playlist. This is part of that playlist. It's in the same stone and brick project as well. I'm doing all of that in the same thing. So yeah, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. That would be fantastic. And like the video. Brilliant. So without further ado, what I'm going to do today is show you how to do some of my tower roofs. The fundamental builds, and we're going to build it together per se. Right, so to start off, I've done two tower sections. I just did two random style of towers, didn't know what to do. So we're just going to work off of these ones. So first of all, with a tower like this one that I'm working here, first of all, I would look at it and go, right, I'm going to want it sloping right down. So I'm just going to do some stairs. We're going to do those stairs all the way down until they join each other. Pretty much. Very, very simple. From the 3 blocks that you see there. Now, you could have done it from the 5 blocks and made it wider, but I'm just deciding to do it from the 3 blocks and making it that wide instead. But it's all up to yourself, depending how you want that tower to be. But those 3 blocks that I put up on the top, that are up above everything else, that's my guideline. That's my 3 fundamental blocks right there. From that point, that's going to show me where my start-off point is going to start before I start building the tubular bit at the top. If you see my meaning? So, yeah. Let's just quickly do this. What I'll do is I'm just going to skip by this actually, I reckon, because you've seen this now. There we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm just filling it in. Now what I've done is I put in a singular square block, then 2 up above it, and then from there, because all it does is join them together, clearly, I need to kind of like break away like this as you go. You're breaking the layers away that are going to show the grey block now. So you're taking that away. Add something there like that, and you can do this any way you want actually, as long as it's symmetrical. You don't have to use the same blocks, by the way. You could use a different block as long as they're all 4 symmetrical. So now what I'm doing is I'm breaking away the 2 side blocks of the top 3 grey blocks now. So each side of them are going to disappear. They're going to change into a stone block, as you can see. We cut it away. Let me get a bit closer there. There we are. I'm all over the place here. So as you can see, like that, break it away, and then where you see that little grey one on the side there, it's just going to be a half block for me. I mean, you don't have to, again, you could use a different type of block, it's up to yourself, but I'm just going to put in a half block there, and that gives me a bit of layer and texture going on. Now I'm going to raise it a little, because now that we've got a sort of shape of the underneath arch, we can now raise it all the way up. Now with this tower, I'm just like everything, I always freestyle. Okay, I didn't have a plan, so I've got 1,000 ways to build these, and everything works on the fundamental blocks that you start off with. So for instance, where we're doing the 3, where we started off with a 3 and going down, you could make it 5 going down, you can make it 7 going down, as long as it's 3, 5, 7, 9. You can make it as wide as you want. Obviously don't go too wide to the base of your tower because it looks silly. But you know, and you go by those bases and you build down from that. Now you don't have to do the way I've done the stairs as well. You could have used blocks and half blocks and stairs again to bring it down, but I'm just doing it simply for you, just so you can see a simple version of one of these going up. And all we're doing right now is we're just layering it up, going in, doubling it up like so, and then going on top again and just adding more. Now as long as it's symmetrical on the top of here, you can do what you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some half blocks in between the other blocks just to give it a bit of funny texture, and then build up like that, and then I don't know actually, put it up a little bit more. Yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start doing some half block details. Now you can do this at any point. You can do it right at the end of your build, but I like to go as I go. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just adding half blocks where I can see, you'll see it on your own build, where you can actually see where a half block will fit and where it won't. So all you do is you go around it, and as you're going around, you start seeing this texture and detail coming up like so. And then for the flails at the end there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some stairs, like so. Very, very easy stuff. Very, very easy. There we are. So what I'm doing now is on the top there, I'm just adding more detail. Now as long as it's symmetrical, you can do what you want. So let me break that away again. So what I'll do is I'm gonna break the middle blocks all the way down each side there, and then I'm gonna go in and just add a block in. So then what it'll do is, well, you'll see what I mean in a second. So let me just do these two at the back. Right, so here, break it in and then put one in on the floor section and then bring them all the way up so they join up to that middle one. And you end up with that, basically. Very, very easy. And then break away, like so. And then this is where more detailing will come in. You start taking away, add a little bit more elevation. This is high enough, to be honest with you, for this one. So half blocks will cause some texture detail, which is great. There we are. My character's walking really funny, by the way, because I've got a mod on that I wanted to try. It's supposed to make your character look more realistic when he's walking. Oh my god, it's absolutely funny. I'm going to do a little quick video of that, watching him. He honestly looks like he needs to go pee. See, when he's walking about, he's going, I need to go pee, I need to go pee. But that's another video. That's a whole nother video, honestly. So there you go. Now you can see the elevations on everything symmetrical on all four sides. And like I say, you can do it any way you want. As long as you're doing four symmetrical sides, you're always going to have a tower building up, and it's always going to be shaped because you've got the fundamental blocks underneath, because you've now built the little arches that you needed. Everything on top now is just a symmetrical basis. It really is. It's so simple. So you can get really outrageous. Look at me. I mean, like I'm continually going with it. I'm just adding more half blocks, and it's just because I'm doing it symmetrical. And you can really go over the top like this, you know. But you can see usually in your build where you should stop, you know, and say, right, I'm happy with that. And there you go. There's your roof underneath. Cool. Right, anyway, forget that roof now. We're going to go into something a little bit more complicated. Now, like I say, there's hundreds of ways to build roofs. Now, the way I just showed you there, with that kind of design style where you peak them down, you can go as far down as you want, making it wider, using half blocks, using stairs, upside down stairs with blocks, and bringing them down into the odd shapes that you see many builders do. But I just wanted to show you on the basic. Now, this one, this one is a bit more technical. This type of build, what I'm going to do is I'm looking for square shapes as well as cylinder shapes, you see. So I'm going to be doing some like fundamental building. Well, actually what I'm doing here is not fundamental at all. What I want to do is I actually want to have a white trim underneath, so rather than putting it in and having it all blocky and then having to fit more texture to fit that, I just want it to have it smooth on the other side so that I can do the texture detail, which I'm not going to do on these roofs until part 2. What we'll do is we'll take these little roofs, once they're both done, we'll take them to the next level in part 2, and you can see how you can develop these roofs even further to create even more of a kind of like a spectacular, that's speculative look, you know. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm taking a pattern when I'm doing a 3, a 4, 4, 4, 3, and a sort of 3 and a 2 and a 1. I'll show you one more time. So it's a 1, 2, 3, sorry, 3, and then a 4, and then another 4, and then a 3, sorry, 4, 3, 3, and then 2, basically. Sorry about that, but yeah, all that is that gave me the sort of cone shape that I need. It's very easy. You can do those. Also, again, make sure that when you're doing 2s, make sure you have plenty of 3s and 4s going in for the 2 and the 4. If you're going to do 3s and 5s, make sure you have a 6 built in so it pushes it up further. So you have to work with sort of even and odd numbers there to get this kind of like cone shape, if you get my meaning. But yeah, now that I've built that in, it's just a simple case of actually going around it and just adding fluid fluid blocks all the way around so it goes level with each of the inside blocks, because I'm going to layer on top of them next anyway. So basically all I'm doing now is I'm going around, as you can see, and just layering it all the way around, kind of like I'm just doing stair diagonals, not breaking anything away, just a constant joined, so 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 diagonal, kind of, instead of like not doing like a 1 and then break away, 1 break away, you know, kind of like where you can save. That's the less expensive way to build it in survival. You don't have to do that in creative, obviously. So now all I'm doing is I'm following the stair guidelines, so wherever it shows me where I'm going to need a half block, so you'll see this in a second, this one's going to need a half block, as you can see, because the grey one there is sticking out by 1. So now all I want to do is I'm going to put a half block all the way around that, and what that'll do is it'll just smooth it off like all the rest of them. And we do this with every single one of them. Well, actually, I'm not doing it just now. It looks like I decided to bypass that. But yeah, I'm going to do a grey, another half brick block going all the way around so it makes it smooth. Because as you can see, all the rest of them are smooth. And that way you can just use that as your basis to build on top of to create an even more exuberant build. So yeah, but as I said, this one here I want to do squares and shapes. So the build of this kind of roof starts off simplex. I know it looks like a pyramid, let's face it, but it'll start taking a very drastic change on the ideas I've got. So let's just get this done, like so. Yep, there we go. Now I reckon we'll swipe over, 2 seconds. Right. I haven't done those blocks, but anyway, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm doing a 2, a 3, and a 4, and then a 5 all the way down, and I'm going to do that on all sides. Now, what that's done is it's taken the lip, and it now looks like I've put a sort of a half a shulker on top of the tower. It's kind of the same shape you would use to build the shulker shelves, basically. It clamps down. And then what I'm doing is I'm putting a diagonal. Now those two blocks that I'm putting in one either side, they're the fundamental blocks to actually start the trim, pretty much. So side blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a side stair, and then everything else is going to go front facing. So an normal stair, sorry, upside down stair, side upside down stair, and then it'll be a normal stair, and then an upside down stair, basically like that, you know. And then what that's doing, that's giving me a squarish trim. In fact, yeah, we'll do a side upside down and then normal upside down. So now that gives us 2 sort of lips. Kind of change it up, you know. I'll show you on flat. But, you probably won't see it. There we go. Oh, wrong blocks. 2 seconds. It can normal upside down and then a side one, which is going to be upside down, and then normal, and then an upside down side, and then upside down stair. And what that's doing is just creating a little bit of a side texture, as you can see. Kind of a blocky, Inca, you know, that kind of shape. So, what we'll do now is I will just finish doing these, and we shall move on, I reckon. But yeah, this one is going to get interesting, by the way. This one is going to get rather interesting. Right, next level. So I am now putting in those half blocks, finally, because Kenny, you forgot. Right, so let's get that done, and there will be the other one. Let me see if I do it. I cannot remember. I cannot remember. No, I didn't. Okay, right, so what I'm doing now is, at this point, you can do what you want from here. As long as it's symmetrical, and you're building it up symmetrical on 4 sides, it's going to fit. But you have to kind of watch the shape you're doing. So what we'll do is we're going to, let me just finish this one, because I'm just trying to get an idea of what I'm going to do. Because as I say, this is still under basis type stuff. This is like the first layer texturing before we build on top of. So let's have a side look at that. So what I'm doing is I'm basically putting in, it was the upside down stair, then a normal block, then a side stair, and then normal blocks, and shaping them together. You'll see a little gap there on every one of them. We're just going to fill that in with a half block on each one of them. And here I'm about to miss a block, which I don't do it in the build at all. Do not worry, I do get it in the end, but you'll see in a second what I mean. Let's get round, because I'm just going to leave it at this view right now. Right now I miss a block right there. See it? See that one on the side there? I missed on the left. There's one block, half block missing. Now I completely forget about that the whole way through, because it's not a fundamental block and it doesn't actually break up the pattern, and it isn't like critical for when I'm going around, so it kind of still looks like it's fitted in. So yeah, forget that block. And right now just watch how this is building up. Everything I'm doing on this side you're seeing is getting done on all 4 sides, and it's all symmetrical. So I'm just going around symmetrical, and it's kind of like it just starts reshaping it, giving it some new value, and then when you look at it again and you go back again, you can see it again and go, well, hold on, now that I've got that shape in, what could I do now? And then you can go further, you know. This is how I do them anyway. I always think starting off simple, because as you know, this started off very, very simple, and it's now starting to look like one of these more pro sort of shapely designs that you see these server builds have, you know. So you've got a lot of half block work getting done basically. I'm doing all this with half block, and I'm now going to cover all the way up pretty much using the half blocks, and you know, using half block, you know, not in fact, yeah, let's do that. So when you get like issues like that, you can you can put diagonal and one on the front, and then you've got more shape again. Now you can see underneath where you can put more half blocks to give more texture detail, like there and there. So that's pushed it up a little bit further. And then we're going to keep on pushing it up. So eventually the tower will look just that little bit higher. It'll have this long sloping roof, and it'll look nice. It will look nice. Right. Yeah, we'll just do it nice and simple here. Half block all the way around, just, you know, a little bit, because we're getting thinner now and getting more elevation, it'll look the part. There we are, and we're almost there. There we go. Ta-da! And we're there. Right. Now that you can see what we've just done, this is exactly what we've just done. Me going around what you've just seen, this is the actual shape that you get. What do you think? Looks not bad, eh? And it's very, very simple. It's just all symmetrical, and it's all based off of that first fundamental shape that you got. From that point, you can go around and keep on adding and adding. I mean, I could go further with this one, which we are going to do, by the way, in the second one. We're going to take this one further, for sure. But there you go. There's a more steeple type roof, if you get my meaning. Right, so yeah, just add from here. I'm not going to do much more with this tower today, because we can take this to level 2 in the second part. Because what I'll do is I'll show you how to put more sort of material into it, kind of like trimming and things like that. Because if you've not noticed, I've not done any trimming today. I've just showed you how to do the sort of front blocks, which we'll tear them away in the second one. We'll put a new trim in, and then we'll put an overall trim on the actual sides and everywhere, and then run it up the actual tower. As you can see, it kind of has a slope. Even here, now you see that sort of slope going up. We're going to pull that further up, you know, kind of like just to show you how you know, sort of a fantasy tower gets built. That's how those sort of like fantasy fairy tale towers are done. This is the same way pretty much. It's sort of mushroom effect with a flowing overall like tubular top going all the way up, you know. But yeah, what do you think of that? Looks really good. I hope you've been trying to do this. Kind of like hope you've got something similar as well. Right, underneath was the roof. I'm just going to break the end ones away, because that's going to cover up the outside where the 2 blocks are. And we're pretty much going to call it a night like that. But as you can see, there is the trim. A nice simple trim that's now built into the actual tower, and we can work from that on the second part. I'll show you how to do the inside of these to make it nice and bulky. Look good. Right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed these two. I hope you were able to follow this. I've tried to. I'd rather show you than try and do it like in a tutorial style. I just thought I'd do it with yous. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I will see you in part 2 for this, and we're going to bring these to the next level. Bye bye.